Organizing our homes can feel like a never-ending task. From finding the right organizing systems, the right bins, to knowing exactly where to place them and what to store inside of them. It can feel like constantly trying to put these pieces of the puzzle together and constantly failing. And while I do believe that there's no perfect system for everybody, because our lifestyles and our homes are completely different, and while I also believe decluttering needs to come first, getting rid of the items we don't need, and then finding the systems to organize what we do need. Despite all of that, there are certain organizing systems that have made my life as a mom of two a lot easier. So today I'm going to share with you 10 IKEA organizing items that I love in our home that we've used not just in this home that we have, but in a lot of the previous places where we lived, even the small flat in London. The first one is the set of 6 organizing boxes. These come in a pack of 6 and they come in different sizes. They fit perfectly in drawers, and what I love using them for especially is wardrobes. So in our wardrobe, in the drawers for myself, for the kids, whether it's my underwear drawer, whether it's storing my leggings, these are so useful. They don't cost a lot, and then if for some reason you don't need some of them right now, they're easily folded flat and they don't take up a lot of space. I love versatility when it comes to pieces like this. Next up, we've got felt baskets. We have started using these a few months ago for our kids' toys, and I really love them. They're nice and soft for when the kids play around them, and they're a really good size. We got the larger size that they have so that it would fit nicely in our IKEA Billy bookcase that we built, and I find that they had fit a good amount of toys in there without getting too overwhelming. I found that when we had a larger box to put our daily rotation toys in there, it ended up getting a bit much, because when they pour out the whole basket and it's very full, it's going to be a lot harder for them to tidy at the end of the day, or for me to tidy for that matter. So having slightly smaller bins can actually be really helpful for toys, because you can categorize them a bit better and it's not going to be an overwhelming amount of toys in each bin. We have 6 of those baskets at the moment for toys, and it's been working really well for us downstairs in the living room where the kids mostly play. And similarly, we have the Branas basket. Now, we used to have these for toys as well, and I found that in the daily cupboard for toys, they were good, but when they were full to the brim, it felt like a bit much, and so we kept them about halfway full. But I found the felt baskets a bit better for their toys. Now we use the Branas baskets for keeping on top of their kids' wardrobes. So for when we do a toy rotation, I can put some of the toys up there instead. We keep in there clothes that are out of season, clothes that the kids maybe need to grow into, or things that we just don't need daily access to. I also have some of those baskets in my wardrobe, in my husband's wardrobe, just at the top, and that's where we keep seasonal items like out of season clothing and things like that. So they're really useful for a whole bunch of purposes. And we have a similar one in our airing cupboard where we keep the clothes iron and some random bits like that. And we have a mix, some are white and some are the kind of bamboo colored. One thing that's technically not really an organizing system is a napkin holder. They have these napkin holders in IKEA and they have them in 2 different sizes. We have a few of both sizes and I find them really useful for certain areas in my home. We use one of them in our entryway, so where we drop our keys, wallet, all the little things like that we come through the door, we had them in our hands, that's where we pop them. I like to have a little drop zone at the entryway because then it's really easy to find things when we leave the house as well. I also have a few in our kitchen cupboards, like in the drawers. I find them useful for little things that you need to organize. And I've also put a few in our kids' play kitchen because it's really nice to have the play food in there. So it can be a good toy storage for little toys as well. One thing that's probably the cheapest on this list, but I found it really useful as well, is magazine holders. They have these really cute ones in IKEA that are made just out of cardboard, and they have a little smiley face on them, which people always comment on my Instagram. And they're really cute, but they're also very functional. So what we use them for is kids' artwork, some of mine and my husband's paperwork. My son likes to write his own little books, so he has quite a lot of those that he's written. So one of those magazine holders is for him to store all of those in there. It just helps organize items like that. And I find when you give things a home, when you give all of that artwork, all of those pieces a place where they belong, it's a lot easier to tidy and it's a lot easier to find things when you need them. We also love the bookends from IKEA IKEA. I found these very minimalist and simple ones. You know how some bookends can take up some space, like they have this little ornament on them. Nothing wrong with that, obviously. But for us, I wanted something really simple that can go in a lot of different places in our home. So whether it's the Billy bookcase where we keep a lot of our books, kids' magazines, I even use the bookends for some of my son's like Nintendo Switch games. I have one in my daughter's bedroom where she keeps her little toddler books. Probably don't need to explain why bookends are useful. It's just nice to have books standing properly and not have them fall all over the place. Just makes organizing a shelf a lot easier, making sure it actually stays that way. The IKEA 365 Plus glass containers are some of my favorite. We use these food containers. We have them in a variety of different sizes. It's like a regular Tupperware style container. Then there's a taller one. They also have in that line a jar with a lid. So we like using the food containers obviously for leftovers, for anything that I need to store in the fridge. Like for example, if I want to wash and put together all the fruit in one container, I might do that. And it can be really helpful, especially if you're like myself are trying to kind of get away a bit more from using plastic food containers. These can be a good option. And I use the glass jars with a lid for dry foods that I need to store in our like pantry cupboard. So that can be, you know, the pasta, rice, all of those kinds of items. I also love the Kuggis white containers. They have these in a wide variety of sizes. They can come with lids or with no lids. We have a few of them with lids in my son's wardrobe, and these have been really helpful for organizing a whole bunch of items. For example, he has some Lego train tracks in one of them. In another one, he has some more of his artwork and paperwork that he wants to keep. One of them holds all the swimming gear, and they can also come with a little tray insert that goes at the top, and that can be really helpful for organizing little items that they might have. These can be useful if you're trying to organize a pantry, like an understairs cupboard where you might have batteries and lots of little items like that. These can be really, really helpful. The mesh baskets that they have are some that I've used quite a bit as well. So I have a few in the kitchen, for example, for potatoes and onions, and I really like how they're more breathable and they fit perfectly in the little drawer that we have there in the kitchen. And I also use them in our Billy bookcase where I keep arts and crafts for the kids, so things like Play-Doh, their painting sets and everything like that. And these are really useful to kind of contain all those items in one place. Maybe not quite an organizing item, but I love their laundry basket, like the clothes basket. We generally use it to kind of take, you know, the wet laundry and take it to put to dry. But it's been really helpful, for example, when I'm trying to declutter, I will grab that basket, take it with me all around the house and kind of collect items in there that I want to declutter. So it can be really useful to kind of organize things in that way. I also use it when I have items I need to kind of relocate around the house. So I will go around the living room, for example, pick up all the items that belong in the kids' rooms and then take the whole basket up there. So it's really useful to kind of do my organizing that way rather than going with hands full of stuff, carrying them upstairs. A lot of people also loved the previous IKEA video I did where I talk more about the bigger items that we have from IKEA in our minimalist home. So pieces of furniture like sofa, rug, all of those kinds of items. So if you're curious to see that, I will link it in the description box. I hope this was useful. I hope you're having a lovely day and I will see you in the next one.